this one. I've been looking in your eyes. No cure for this one. There's no cure for this one! 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 This one! This one! This one! There's no cure for this one!
Hello everyone, I'm Tony Doherty and welcome to Max's Muscle TV. It's a great night to be watching, folks, if you want to drop a few kilos, as Pete and I will be back in the kitchen talking about the nutritional plan that will work best for anyone that's looking to get shredded. And Challenge Master Coach Freddie Liberatore is back with another tip that's perfect for anyone that doesn't have access to a gym and that proves that you can get the job done with the most basic equipment, even at home. Well, now for a change of pace. Netball's a sport that's literally played by hundreds of thousands of women around the country, but not one you'd necessarily associate with weight training. Well, that's not the case, as we found out recently when we dropped in on the all-conquering Adelaide Thunderbirds to find out the secrets to their success.
My name's Damien Maynard and we're at Fast Twitch Performance Training Centre, located in Clemsick in Adelaide, South Australia. We started working with the Thunderbirds 4 years ago and we came across Jane Woodlands-Thompson and we were lucky enough that she was able to see eye to eye with our training philosophies. Netball is a very high impact, quite a powerful game. Explosive jumping, change of direction, agility, speed. The nature and the rules governed by netball is that you need to stop when you have the ball, so the ability to decelerate, but then again, accelerate again from beyond that point. So it's considered very high impact, and so netballers need to be conditioned for not only power, but the ability to reproduce power, and what we term power endurance, so to be able to go at 100% and repeat that throughout the 4 quarters of their match.
My name's Renee Hallinan. I represent the Adelaide Thunderbirds and also Australian Netball Diamonds. I'm a predominantly wing defence player, but also like to have a bit of a run in the centre position as well. And I've been here now for 2 years. So now it's about time to win one in pink, I think.
My name's Beck Bully. I play goal defence for the Thunderbirds and this is my 2nd season. The physical capabilities that you need as an elite netballer is obviously to be fast, strong, agile, coordinated helps, something I probably lack a little bit of. But also, you know, mentally you have to be resilient because
each and every year players are getting physically faster and stronger. The game is more physical now. There's a lot more body contact for a non-contact sport.
That's the role of us, to make sure that every player is becoming fitter. We have a basic general goal for the entire squad. We then have specific programs for the individual underneath that umbrella. Both in the gym and on court, we do varying programs depending on what we need that week for our opposition, whether we're coming up against an Australian or a New Zealand opposition. The session will be comprising primarily of a warm-up. I'll touch on a little bit of ladder work for that. We'll look at running technique, we'll look at jumping and proprioception work to make sure that ankles, knees and hips are stable before we actually come into some more heavier compound work. We might start slower, then increase the intensity as that becomes more fluent so that those, I suppose, motor pathways begin to fire more rapidly. Once we've completed the warm-up, it's go time. I want specific power production. I want to fire those fast-twitch muscle fibres. So I'm going to integrate things like box jumps. We're going to integrate things like dynamic ballistics, strength work. It might be lighter load, the emphasis is speed, and then we'll certainly integrate our biggest point of difference, which is high-speed isokinetics for that maximum neural contraction. The high-speed isokinetics is essentially a series of machines. There's 6 machines that we use in a circuit, and we're able to take an athlete, apply maximum force contraction, which means that they can hit the machine as hard as possible and there being no compressive load on any joint, which means that we can fire the fast-twitch muscle fibre more rapidly and in turn generate more power. It's actually hydraulic resistance. Essentially what that means is as a hydraulic valve closes, it will close under more pressure. So if an athlete or a user is pressing harder, the valve will close shorter. So essentially what it enables you to do is contract as fast as possible, and then once that range is finished, there's absolutely no load so that you can come back as quick as possible as well. We're able to record every single rep, every single set, the ability to have bio or instant feedback, as well as the ability to draw back upon historical data becomes a huge tool and a massive point of difference for fast twitch. So it's a program like no other, and certainly we're getting the results. Some of the other exercises will be some sprinting work. I want to generate maximum power over a short distance, so we'll utilise the track and we'll do some sprints.
We do lots of squatting, lots of lunges, lots of power cleans, deadlifts that will make the whole body burn.
I want to do some reaction work. Coming close to the game, I want their motor neurons firing as quick as possible, so we might partner up through that exercise. You might have hands behind your back, you might have bent knees, and one partner might drop the ball and you have to catch it instantly. Essentially, the idea is to be able to have maximum concentration, hand-eye coordination, and be able to react very quickly so that the brain can respond quickly and perform its task. Like all good programs, we focus on a lot of core stability, so we do finish off with core exercises. We'll use medicine balls, and we'll use all core. We'll use rectus abdominals, obliques, rotation, lower back, so making sure that they are stable. We'll use every method available to be able to activate the core and stability. It's a great conditioning tool. Girls don't mind it, it also shakes up their stomach. And the other component is that it's very functional. When we look at an athlete, stability is probably their greatest asset. Strong legs, ankles, knees and hips, but then core through stabilisation as well as rotation. There is lots of different heights and sizes of netballers that would need to be specific for their specific role.
I stand at 186 centimetres, which most would say is quite tall for a female. But nowadays, you know, there's goal shooters that I'm playing against that are, you know, 195 plus centimetres tall. So obviously the big thing that I need to keep working on is my vertical jump, because I just need to keep contesting that ball.
This is my second year in the program and it's just been sensational for me. That specific training, especially on the speed, power and strength work, has enabled me to take my vertical jump up at least 12 or 13 centimetres just within 18 months. It's an extremely tough and hard program. We certainly sweat a lot, work very hard and lift some really heavy weights, which traditionally in the netball space hasn't been done quite as much. I'll be the first to put up my hand and admit that I was one of those girls that didn't see the benefit in lifting the heavy weights and thought that weights would make me bigger. Certainly is not the case, and I've seen such huge performance benefits on the netball court by lifting my performance in the strength and weights room.
You know, I really enjoy the experience. I really enjoy the sense of achievement that you get when you get your max weight that you might have lifted. But also it's really nice just to have some definition and tone in my arms and legs as well. So
as a female, that's what you want. You don't want to be putting on the big side, and with a balanced diet, that's exactly what I need.
At the Adelaide Thunderbirds, we're very fortunate to have Natalie Bomberto as our nutritionist, also our captain. So she helps us with our eating plan. So my diet consists of, in the morning, I love my 2 eggs on toast. Usually I'll go to a morning training session. I always have a Maxine's Burn protein shake after that session. I just love the vanilla shake. And in terms of the bar, you can't beat the double chocolate fudge, let's be honest. I'm also a bit of a fan of the double choc because I love chocolate. It feels like I'm doing the right thing having some protein with my chocolate.
The difference perhaps between an elite netballer and a developing netballer is how their bodies are conditioned. I would certainly recommend actually start doing the most basic forms of strength training. So if you can start looking at very basic methods of proprioception, you can achieve that by doing very basic plyometric methods. So some jumping and stability with jumping, making sure knees are stable, ankles are stable as you are jumping, making sure the core is activated through those jumps as well. You can move that into unilateral work, which means one leg. You can then move laterally, so moving side to side through those patterns, then diagonally, and then certainly moving up to doing, say, agility-based exercises, which might mean running around cones, accelerating, decelerating very quickly, and just becoming very familiar with how to use your body. When you've developed that baseline core competency, I'd certainly recommend that starting to increase some strength. You can certainly start with just your body weight to begin with. You'll then want to start to doing some more baseline strength and conditioning work, so your key strength exercises, which might be some squatting, some pressing exercises, basic push-pull.
Certainly leading into the finals, our training gets really specific. It's probably a little bit shorter in terms of duration, but higher intensity. It's now in this end of the season where we need to get our sleep right, our nutrition right, make sure we're doing all the right things and ticking all the right boxes so come game day we can perform. On-court expectations is that we would win each and every game from here on in, and hopefully at the end of the season we're going to be holding up that ANZ Championship Cup and wearing the pink.
Yeah, thanks Renee, Beck and Damien, and congratulations to the Thunderbirds on winning their grand final. Well done from everyone here at Muscle TV. Well, it's time for a break. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.